Hello guys, welcome to Football Fandom UK. Hope you guys are having a cracking day. Today bringing you a video with regards to Bolton and Bury, and unfortunately I have to keep doing these videos because it is necessary for me to try and help get the football fan community to basically help and make aware anybody and everybody that could possibly help in respect of these clubs going forward. So today, guys, I am not going to ask you to like and share and subscribe. If you want to, that is up to you, but I'm not going to do that because unfortunately today it is good news, or more positive news, shall I say, for Bolton. But unfortunately, it is not so positive for Bury. But we will get into that in a second. Excuse me. So first of all, guys, we're going to quickly start with Bolton because, as I say, the news for Bolton is a bit more positive. They're not out of the water yet, but things are looking up a little bit. The other day, I'm not sure if you guys were aware, Bolton were in court with regards to the guy. Bear with me a second, guys, while I look up my notes. With regards to, is it Bassini? I think it's Bassini, isn't it? Bassini took Bolton to court to try and stop the sale going through. Basically, from my point of view, I think he's got sour grapes. But luckily, the court have seen some sense and they have ruled against him. I believe this was on Wednesday, if I'm correct. I might be wrong about that, guys. All the information I am bringing you today is what I've been able to research, find out about, to keep you guys informed, because basically, as I say, the information I've got as research that I've found, so I can't quote everything as fact. I can't quote any of it as fact, to be quite honest, guys. I can only bring to you guys what I've been able to find. And as I say, today's video is basically more about trying to bring awareness to the state of affairs with regards to Bolton and Bury, and particularly Bury. As most of you guys know, I am a Bolton fan and I have no prejudice against Bury whatsoever. They are local rivals to Bolton, but as a fan of football, I do not want to see any club in the UK facing these sort of circumstances. I don't think it's right. I think it's an absolute disgrace, as I've stressed in videos previously. So yeah, guys, so apparently the court have overruled, or as I understand it, they've ruled that basically they've put a block, Bassini tried to put a block on the sale of Bolton. He took Bolton to court to try and get an injunction, and I believe he did actually get an injunction, but now that injunction has been overruled. And sorry, bear with me, guys, I'm just looking down because I've got a lot of notes here. So I'm trying to give you as many facts as possible. So yeah, apparently the block on the sale of Bolton has been lifted by the court, and was aimed. So now the injunction has been basically amended and now is between Lawrence Bassini and a company owned by Ken Anderson. So the dispute is now between them two, and as a Bolton fan, I couldn't care less about that. As a football fan, I could not care less. As long as they leave Bolton alone and allow Bolton to start moving forward so that we can get new owners in place so that the club can start moving forward for the fans, the fan community, and also all the people employed by Bolton, because this is yet another example of two guys that are in it for themselves. Ken Anderson is an absolute disgrace, the way he left Bolton. More and more details are coming out about why, basically about how he ran the club, and basically it would appear to me, and this is only my opinion, but I will certainly voice my opinion on behalf of the fans, that Bassini and Ken Anderson are in it for themselves. They're not in it for the best interest of the club. They like to talk the talk, but they ain't walking the walk. And as I say, more and more facts are coming out with regards to Ken Anderson and his, shall we say, shenanigans and complete disregard for the football community and for the fans of Bolton. And these guys, as far as I'm concerned, the FA should just ban these guys from having anything to do with football. That is their duty. Their duty is to protect the football community and to protect football clubs, in my opinion. And I think that they should ban these two guys from having absolutely anything to do with any football club within the UK, because they're an absolute disgrace. And their activities over recent months have proved that they are in it for themselves. So yeah, guys. So hopefully Bolton are now going to be able to get the new owners in place and move forward. Let's hope so. Let's hope that the administrators can get a deal done with the potential new owners. Get that over the line so that the club can start repairing the damage done by these disgraceful people that have been running the club, i.e. Ken Anderson mainly and his associates, because if something doesn't happen soon with regards to the sale, Bolton could be in a world of trouble and end up dropping even further down the Football League pyramid. Bolton fans don't want any advantages. They just want the opportunity to have the club compete fairly within the Football League, so that we can obviously give respect to every club that Bolton will be playing over the course of the season. And obviously with all this limbo hanging over the club, it is not just detrimental to Bolton, it's detrimental to every club that Bolton face, because obviously, it means that the club and the clubs that we play as a club basically get embroiled and get, asked questions and just basically a lot of negativity around any games with regards to Bolton and involving any of Bolton's respective opponents. So yeah, guys, it's looking a lot more positive for Bolton. I don't want to shout about that too much because obviously the Bolton are not out of the water yet, but this is definitely a positive step, and I am well happy that the courts have seen some sense and basically done something to help Bolton be able to get moving forward in a positive way. I think that the FA could have done more with regards to the assisting with this particular issue, but I'm not going to get into that today. So yeah, basically, so this is the state of affairs with Bolton. Bolton have had midfielder Aaron Oztumer, a bit of a mouthful. I am aware of this player, but I've never been able to pronounce his name correctly. But I'm not the greatest with pronouncing names. So yes, guys, apparently he asked to leave last month. That was turned down, and he's then took it to an appeal, won the appeal, and now he's gone to Charlton. So as far as I'm concerned, good riddance, because I'm very sympathetic to players that haven't been paid wages and that have been facing a tough time. But it looks to me like this is yet another player that is basically, I don't want to be too hard on the guy. At the end of the day, he's been put under a lot of strain and stress while he has been playing for Bolton with respect to his finances. But to jump ship when there is light at the end of the tunnel, as far as I'm concerned, is a bit out of order, because obviously these players are going to get paid, and they have been paid some money. I'm not saying it's enough. I'm not saying that that they don't deserve to have their full allocation of wages given to them. I'm right behind that all the way, guys. But as I say, we've seen a number of players jump ship from Bolton during these trying times. And yet again, this is another player that has decided that he has had enough I don't hold nothing against him, but as a Bolton fan, I'm very frustrated that yet again another senior player has decided to jump ship. But yeah, other than that, that's about the only negative thing at the moment for Bolton. Apart from Bolton are playing Tranmere Rovers this weekend, and will be travelling to Tranmere with only 2 senior players. Part of this is because of injuries, and Bolton only actually have 5 senior players at the moment anyway. So it's still a very, very dire situation with regards to the squad. But luckily, as a Bolton fan, and all other Bolton fans will be well aware that the players have been, the young lads playing for the club have been giving absolutely everything. The game at the weekend against Coventry was absolutely awesome. They put in one hell of a shift. They played for the shirt. They played for the fans. And I am, as a Bolton fan, I'm absolutely delighted with the effort that they put in. Unfortunately, it wasn't as good a result against Rochdale in the cup, partly because, in my opinion, I think the manager hit the nail on the head. It's basically because of lack of pre-season preparation. It's starting to show that the players are struggling for fitness in the second half of games, and that is not their fault. That is due to the mess of the club and the fact that they haven't been able to do proper pre-season preparation. But so, as I say, guys, Bolton will be travelling to Tranmere with only 2 senior players, but hopefully the manager and the coaching staff can get the lads, the young lads, to put in another absolutely awesome performance, and that's the best we can hope for as Bolton fans at the minute. So yeah, guys, it's like I say, it's looking a little bit more positive for Bolton. Nothing, they're not out of the water yet, but it is looking a bit better. So now, guys, we will move on to Bury, because obviously, as I say, Bury's situation is a lot worse than Bolton's. Hence why I've left it to the second part. So unfortunately, guys, the video might drag on a little bit with this because there is quite a bit to cover with Bury. I have got, basically, I'm going to read to you what has been thinking, and I'm only reporting to you guys what I've come across. And what I've come across is these reports. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to turn this on. It's basically the Bury owner has had an interview with Talk Sport. And I'm going to read you exactly what was said. Basically, the owner, Steve Dale, has been on Talk Sport, and a player of Bury, Dawson. I'm sorry, I'm not sure of his second name because I'm not a Bury fan, so I'm not familiar with all the Bury players. But I'm going to read to you basically what was said, or at least some of what was said. So yeah, apparently the Talk Sport presenter invited Dawson, the player Dawson, on and asked him a number of questions. And basically, I'm just going to read to you some of what was said. So the player has said, "Let's cut to the chase. You have both paid." Let's cut to the chase. Bear with me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry. Steve Dale v. Stephen Dawson. Talk Sport. Dawson listens to chairman. "Let's cut to the chase. You haven't bothered paying us in months. I'm on the verge of losing everything I have to listen to. I am on the verge of losing everything. I've had to listen to what you've had to say for months. You can say you've tried to save the club, but at the end of it all, get your money and leave the club. Otherwise, the club is no more." So Dale has replied, "Ask Mr. Dawson, did he receive from the beginning of the CVA 50% of his wages?" Mr. Dawson replies, "Excuse me, 50% from who? The PFA have paid us 2 months' wages." Dale replies, "No, they paid you 4 months for 50%. Dawson replies, "Steve, I'm not going to row. I don't lie. I have been paid 2 months from the PFA, which is a loan. You have paid me once in 6 months. I do not lie. And then Dale has replied, the PFA paid upon my request 50% of your wages every month since Stewart's Day. Stuart Day's catastrophe started. Is that right or is that wrong? And Dawson replies, lies. And Dale says, sorry. And Dawson replies, lies. You're telling lies and I can't prove it. I can prove it. And TalkSport presenter Jim White then steps in and says, give the players and the fans some hope here. Tell us now Dawson is a desperate man. He can't pay his bills and he can't feed his family. Dale replies, do you truly believe that remark that Mr. Dawson cannot feed his family and is getting thrown out of his house? Do you truly believe that? Everything with you guys is blowing it to the maximum. Mr. Dawson not going to get thrown out of his house and he can feed his family. Dawson replies, there you go. That sums up everything I need to say here, Jim. What he's just said there has summed up what a man and a human being he is. How does he know I'm not going to be kicked out of my house? Dale replies, as you keep saying to me, prove it, Mr. Dawson. So basically, they've had a bit of a ding-dong on TalkSport, guys. And I basically take from that basically this guy, Steve Dale, is an absolute disgrace. I will call him out because I've listened to a number of reports. I've listened to him, obviously, on TalkSport. He's been on a number of other radio stations spouting on about how he's doing the best for Bury Football Club. And I don't believe it because what he's saying and what is actually happening is not adding up, guys. So basically, I'm going to bring you a few facts with regards to the situation with Bury. Owner Steve Dale apparently ready to sell after being put under pressure because he was resisting to sell, but now obviously he's prepared to sell, or so he's claiming. Working on a deal with claims owner, but he's wanting in excess of 3.7 million after purchasing the club for £1. Now he's claiming that he's pumped all this money in to save the club, which in my opinion, guys, is a load of, I'm not going to swear because this is a family show, but he's talking out of his backside because the facts are not backing up what he's saying. How can you buy a football club for £1 and then suddenly he's pumping all this money into it? What he's claiming he's pumping into it, but yet we're getting reports of players, staff not being paid. I seen pictures of Bury's ground the other day, which is in an absolute disgraceful state, and also the ground is not, the club are not able to use the ground as I understand it. Now I might stand corrected, guys, but I did come across a report the other day saying that the club are not allowed to use the ground for everyday use at the minute due to the fact that they're not paying the bills. They're not paying for the training facilities that's being provided to them by Manchester City. They're not keeping the upkeep of the training facilities of Carrington Training Ground, which has been leased to them by Manchester City. So basically, everything is stacking up against this guy with regards to what he's saying. He's claiming that he's pumping money in. He's claiming that he's doing the best for the club, but the facts are not backing it up, guys. It looks to me that like this guy is yet another owner that is in it for himself. And a number of interviews that I've heard, he's playing the ill health card. Now, I'm not saying he isn't ill. And if he is ill, obviously, as football community, we wish him the best and we hope that he gets well soon. But the fact that he keeps making an issue of it with regards to Bury Football Club, how ill does he think that the club is? He's chatting on about his own ill health. Well, if his own ill health is so bad, why was he originally resisting to sell the club? Because surely if you've got the health issues that this guy's claiming he's got, you would not be wanting to take on a community-based business that is basically going to sap more energy out of him, because it is not as a normal business. Now, this guy is supposed to be a businessman, and if he's a businessman, he should look at the facts. And the facts are that a football club is not a normal business. It is a community-based business. So therefore, it has to be given a bit more respect in a completely different way to a normal corporate business, because it is a community-based business to obviously any potential owners. It's a business, but it is a community-based business. It's reliant on being involved in the community. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, this guy is an absolute disgrace, because he's claiming that he's saved the Bury from going under by not allowing it to go into administration. And I believe it's because he paid or he instigated some purchase thing or whatever. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to look for it. I can't find it, but there's some name for it with regards to how he stopped Bury going into administration, which obviously we would like to see that as a positive thing, but it turns out it's not a positive thing, because the EFL still look at it as in the same way as a club going into administration, hence why Bury have been given a 12-point deduction, because they identify, the EFL identify it as just another club getting into turmoil and basically being in a position not to pay bills, etc., etc. So the fixture against Rotherham is suspended. Yet again, another game suspended. So that is now 5 games suspended, if I'm correct. The club have been served with a notice of charge after failing to fulfil cup tie with Sheffield Wednesday. Given until the 21st of August to respond. EFL will deal or refer to disciplinary commission the club situation, and if they're successful, it means that Bury are going to be kicked out of the Football League. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This is yet again more evidence that this guy is not running Bury Football Club for the right reasons, because he has stopped the club going into administration. And in an interview I heard the other day, he's claiming, oh, well, if I hadn't stopped the club going into administration, the debts that are owed on behalf of Bury wouldn't be paid at all. Well, surely if that's the case, would that not be a better position to allow Bury to move forward? Because what you've done is stop Bury going into administration, but they've still now got debt that they have to pay. And they're also in a worse position because they're not able to fulfil fixtures, because the EFL are not accepting you as an owner. And to be quite honest, I have not always got the best things to say regards to the EFL, but it is looking like the EFL and FA are absolutely correct to stop this guy owning the club. I hate to say it, guys, but it's looking like that, because this guy, 5 months without players being paid, absolutely disgraceful. He's not even owned the club all that long, and yet he's 5 months into it, and he's players not being paid. It's just completely unacceptable. It's the same situation as Bolton. You've got families that are relying on that football club, and he's expecting them to still work, to still turn up every day, to do their job, whether it's players, staff, ground staff, whatever it is, he's still expecting them to turn up, but yet he's not paying them. It's an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm so frustrated, keep reading. It's so depressing. Even though I'm a Bolton fan, I find it very depressing doing all this research, seeing that this is happening. The Football League and the FA allowing clubs to get in this sort of situation because of owners that are clearly in it for themselves. And then he's got the nerve to come on radio stations spouting rubbish about, oh, he's trying to save Bury Football Club. Well, I'm sorry, you're talking out your backside, guy. You really are. Steve Dale, I will say it to you right now. You are talking out of your backside. Get out of Bury Football Club and give the club and the fans a chance to rescue itself, because it's clearly obvious, in my opinion, that you are in it for yourself. You're not interested in the club. You're not in it for the best interest of the club. You're in it for yourself, and your actions are proving that. If you're really in it for the best interest of the club, put your hand in your goddamn pocket and start paying some wages to the players and the staff. They can't live off nothing, you know. You're sitting there talking rubbish on radio stations and coming out claiming that you're doing the best for the club. Well, the facts are not backing up what you're saying, pal. So start getting your finger out and get the club sold so that the club can move forward without you, because you are not a positive influence on Bury Football Club. You're an absolute disgrace. Sorry guys, I'm sorry to get riled up, but this is an absolute disgrace what is going on with Bury, and it needs sorting. It needs sorting fast, because if it doesn't get sorted by the 21st of August, I believe, Bury ain't going to exist as a football club in the league anymore. They're just not. And then that could snowball to the point where they don't exist as a club at all. So yeah, guys. Now, a little bit more positive news with regards to Bury. Unfortunately, there is tiny bits of other negative news with regards to only 6 senior professionals on the books for Bury. Bury can't sign any more players because of a transfer embargo due to the fact of how this guy's running the club. And also... as I've said, 5 months without pay for players and staff. So yeah, guys, but on a positive note for Bury fans, I have got a little bit of positivity for you. Kirkson Ashton Football Club, which is a football club just down the road, and I believe it's considerably smaller than Bury, have offered that all Bury season ticket holders can have free admission this weekend to their game against Kidderminster Harriers, which I think is a very nice gesture, so that the fans of Bury can at least go and enjoy some sort of football. So yeah, guys, if you're a season ticket holder for Bury Football Club, I suggest you get yourself down to Kirk's Ashton, which is a club in Ashton-under-Lyne, and go and enjoy some football and take your mind off the state of affairs at your club, because you deserve to enjoy some sort of football. Another positive thing, guys, is where's my notes gone with regards to right. So yeah, so guys, a little bit more positive news. Now I've been touting this with regards to raising money. There is a guy, a Sheffield fan. I haven't got his name on my notes. If you bear with me a second, I'll try and find it for you guys. The guy, sorry guys, just bear with me a second. You wanna Graham? What? Sorry guys. Graham Butler, who is a Sheffield Wednesday fan, if I'm correct. I hope I'm getting that right, Graham. I apologise if I'm getting that wrong. I'm sure you said that he was a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Has opened a fundraising account with regards to Bury to try and save the club, which I think is very noble, very positive, and is an absolute great thing, and I will assist him as best possible with regards to getting the word out with regards to this. If you want to make a donation, guys, and try and help save Bury, I know that you might support another rival club or a club that you know, Bury might not be your favourite club, but as a football fan community, we need to come together to try and save Bury. And I would do this, I would shout this out for absolutely any club within the UK that was in this situation. And if any fans are aware of any other clubs that are in this situation, you're more than welcome to get in touch with me and make me aware of it, because obviously at the minute, with the channel being new, guys, I'm working alone with regards to a lot of this stuff. So obviously I am struggling to cover absolutely every club and keeping up to scratch with what the situation is for every club. But yeah, guys, if you are interested in helping Bury being saved, and you want to do something positive to help Bury as a football club and the fans of Bury, then this is the website that you can go to make a donation to try and save Bury Football Club. It's www. justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Save Bury FC. So yeah, I'll read that to you again, guys. It's www.justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Save Bury FC. So yeah, guys, if you are a football fan and you love football, I respect that you are loyal to your club. But if you love football and you think that you know, and you feel positive about building a football community for all fans, which is what this channel is about, then get yourselves to that website and make a donation. Because even if you can only give £1, if every fan gave £1, then Bury will be saved. If every fan, in fact, it don't even need every fan, in my opinion. It just needs as many fans as possible just giving £1. You know, so my situation at the minute, guys, is not great financially, but I intend to give a couple of quid towards this cause. As I said, my finances are not in the greatest state, but I hate seeing this happen to football clubs of any description within any country, to be quite honest, not just the UK. So, as I said, guys, I will be making a donation myself. It won't be a massive amount, but hopefully it will go towards saving Bury, and Bury as a club, and the fans will have a club to support going forward with a bit of luck if this is successful. So basically, guys, I've brought you up to scratch with as much as I possibly can today. I hope you've enjoyed the input, or at least I hope the input I've given you has brought you more in the know with what's going on. Obviously, I've probably not been able to cover absolutely every angle, but I've covered as much as I possibly can. If there is any more developments with regards to Bury or Bolton, I will do another video to try and keep you guys informed, because as I say, as a fan community, I think we should all come together to try and help any club within the UK that is in this kind of situation. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Hopefully you'll have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and hopefully you will join me on the next video. Take care for now, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.